Have you ever been puzzled by a piece of code that just doesn't seem to work the way you expect? It's frustrating, right? If you've ever wondered why checking if an array is empty with array equals empty brackets doesn't work, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into this common coding conundrum. I totally get it. You write your code and you think you've covered all the bases, only to find out that a simple check is failing. You're not alone in this. Many developers face this exact issue when working with arrays. Here's the specific question we're tackling today. One user asked, "Why can't I check if an array is empty with array equals empty brackets?" They found that using input equals empty brackets fails the test, while checking the length of the input works perfectly. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So, what's going on here? In JavaScript, the equality operator checks for reference equality when it comes to arrays. This means that two different empty arrays are not considered equal, even though they look the same. We'll break this down step by step. And stick around. At the end of this video, I have a great tip that will help you avoid similar pitfalls in your coding journey. To understand why the user cannot check if an array is empty using the comparison input equals an empty array, we need to look at how JavaScript handles equality. In JavaScript, comparing two arrays with the equality operator checks if they reference the same object in memory, not if they contain the same elements. Instead, the user should use the length property of the array. By checking if input.length equals 0, the user can accurately determine if the array is empty. This method directly checks the number of elements in the array. In the user's code, they correctly handle the case where the input is null or has a length of 0. This ensures that the function returns an empty array when there are no elements to process. To summarize, the user should avoid using the equality operator for arrays. Instead, they should rely on the length property to check if an array is empty. This approach will ensure that their code passes the tests as expected. Fun fact, did you know that in JavaScript, arrays are actually objects? This means they have their own unique behaviors that can sometimes trip us up. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. Another user suggests a different approach to check if an array is empty. They point out that null has no length, so you should check for both null and an empty length. Their code checks if the input is null or if the length is 0, returning an empty array in either case. That's all for that response. Let's see what someone else had to say. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests checking if the input is null or has a length of 0. They initialize an empty array and return it if either condition is true. Here's the tip I promised. Always use the length property to check if an array is empty. This simple habit can save you from a lot of confusion and debugging time. And there you have it. Now you know why checking an array with empty brackets doesn't work and how to properly check if it's empty. If you found this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button for more coding tips, and don't miss our next video where we tackle another common coding challenge.